banjo and guitar, and so I saw my brother was in a show at Disney called The Class of 27, and there was one of my old friends passed away, a guy named Bob Raggio was playing washboard, and he had his washboard on a guitar strap, and so I didn't know how they originally played the washboard. I just heard them on records. And so when I started playing, I just put a guitar strap on, and that's what Disney wanted, so we could keep us mobile. We could walk around, and walk and play at the same time. But originally, all the washboard players played sitting down. What happened to that? I take the legs of my washboard and cut them off, but they're normally a little bit longer, and they actually would take the washboard, they'd sit down on a chair, and they would put the leg underneath their leg and play it straight out in front of them. And I finally saw the Washboard Rhythm Kings performing on a Vitaphone short, and that's how I first saw how they actually played the washboard. I'd seen photos of them, but I thought they were just staged holding the washboard, never actually saw them playing. So they actually played it out in front of them, and normally the cymbal, if they had a cymbal, they usually had cymbals, but they were usually attached somewhere over on this side, but they had both sides they would play. The back of my washboard is wood. And I used to use two washboards together to kind of act as like a banjo resonator, help project the sound, not that it needs to be projected. And so when I stopped using two washboards, I put the wood back here to help resonate the sound, because if the metal just lays against you, it kind of deadens it, which is a blessing to many. And again, they're just ordinary sewing thimbles on my fingers. Okay, enough of that. So, now we've gone up into the, oh, by the way, in 1928, you probably have all heard the name Paul Whiteley. Well, he had a guy working for him named Hoagie Carmichael, and he wrote Washboard Blues in 1928. So you can see a lot of songs were being written for and about the washboard. The washboard bands became extremely popular. Again, as I mentioned, almost every great musician of the day played in a small washboard band. But now my favorite band, the Washboard Rhythm Kings. Great group. They were also known as the Washboard Rhythm Boys. Some refer to them as a Scorpion Washboard Band. Some of the washboard names are really crazy too back then. The Georgia Washboard Stompers, the Washboard Wizards, of course. And the washboard, any band that has a washboard in it is a washboard band. So if I were to play with any larger band, if I were to play with Blue Street, it would become the Blue Street Washboard Band. So those are just the musical rules. Now, if Blue Street, for example, were to add myself on washboard and then to add a jug player, it would cease to be a washboard band and it would become a jug band. Jug supersedes the washboard.
Like rock, paper, scissors.
So Ma Rainey, some of you may have heard that name in the past, she had a washboard band, but she also had a jug in it. So it was a Ma Rainey's Tug and Jug Band. That's what she called it.
Tug and Jug?
Tug and Jug. So anyway, the Washboard Rhythm Kings. Great, as I mentioned, that early band, that early recording with Jelly Roll Martin and Red Allen and Pops Foster, my God. Oh, Wilton Crawley was their clarinet player. Wilton Crawley was a contortionist. He would actually tie himself up in a knot on stage and play clarinet. Amazing guy. Yeah, he was a vaudeville player.
Like Bob Drake.
Not quite as limber. Bob Drag is very limber, of course. But that first group was just amazing, that recording group. And they went on to do, mostly the tunes that were done by washboard bands were actually popular songs of the day. Now there are some exceptions, like Clarence Williams' great tune, Pig Meat Stomp. or who could forget that fabulous washboard tune entitled Fire. There's a good one.
Can I interject something?
Oh, yes, of course.
I just want to add one thing along the topic that Ralph's talking about popular songs. How many of you have heard of Tommy Dorsey out there? And everybody remembers the radio announcer, or maybe you don't, but you've heard the radio announcer saying, and we'd like to introduce the sentimental gentleman of swing, Tommy Dorsey, and they come into that tune, I'm Getting Sentimental Over You, da-da-da-da-da-da. That tune was first originally introduced, the first recording was made by the Washboard Rhythm Kings.
Whoa!
There.
You'll only hear that here in Monterey. Well,
It has a wicked banjo solo on it, too.
Yes, the Washboard Rhythm Kings not only used guitar, Teddy Budd being one of the first guys, but they also used a lot of banjo. Banjo was still very popular with a lot of groups. And we're going to do one of the Washboard Rhythm Kings, one of their original tunes. Not that I don't even know of any other band that recorded it. And so here's our version of from I think it's 31, Pepper Steak.
We'll do the intro. Pepper steak. You ready for pepper steak, Ralf?
John, I'm going to answer you. Don't forget.
Yep.
Okay. Oh, pepper steak. Ooh, delicious.
I'll do the intro.
Oh.
Right, ready?
Uh-oh. Hold on.
Okay, there you go.
I'm ready.
Have you got a good friend?
No, I mean, you know, pepper steak. Pepper steak.
Yeah.